Okay, so if you click this video, this is just gonna be a very brief, not a very brief guide, I would say, but just more so a guide on how to create ultimate selection mod pack pretty early on. And has to do with an exploit on the version of create this mod pack is currently using. So full disclosure, this is only working on Create version 6.06 and it was recently patched on 6.07 onwards. So if you're thinking about using this on any later version, unfortunately it's not going to work. So you're going to just have to work with the earliest version. And another thing is this is also exclusive. Well, not necessarily exclusive, but what I'm about to show you is specifically for this mod pack, but can work with any other mod packs currently using Create 6.06. So to pretty much keep it brief on what we'll be doing is there is a duplication exploit involving the toolbox, and so uh it's gonna require a couple things. Obviously the toolbox is super glue. There's a cart assembler as well too. Obviously a rail and a minecart. And then just funnels. I'm gonna actually show you something too because it works with both types of funnels, but it's a little bit finicky with the andesite funnel as it's more specific with certain things. So we're just gonna quickly just put this apart, put this together like this, put that there, card assembler right there, put this here. We're just gonna have blocks on the side. This is not necessary, but it's good to have a block up front here too. Place our actually not a hopper minecart, more so just a regular minecart. I think a minecart and a chest will also work. I don't recommend a TNT minecart for obvious reasons. Uh, but I don't know why I grabbed it. And then we're also gonna need like a lever or a button. Both works. I think a lever is just more convenient for consistency. And then we're just gonna place the toolbox right here, and I'm gonna actually build two of these just to show you a side by side on what each funnel does. So just so that we have an understanding on how one would work over the other. Probably should have put the card assembler here first. So just like this, like that, and put that here. And just so that we have it for demonstration purposes, I'm just gonna, well, obviously I'm demonstrating it, but you know, uh, and then we're just gonna glue all this together, make sure it's on a T shape, obviously. And then that's pretty much what it should look like. We're gonna put our lever right here because whenever we turn it on, so you're gonna notice something here. When we turn it on, everything gets slightly elevated. Just very briefly on that one. And what I'm not 100% sure on how it works, but we're gonna use these as examples, right? So what I think is happening, all right, well, I'm gonna show you first. So with the andesite funnel and the brass funnels, what happens is if you put items in the toolbox that can, because the toolbox can hold multiple stacks, with non-stackable items, it can only hold up to 4 in one slot. So if I were to, like, say, grab more than just one minecart, it's only going to hold up to 4, but that's fine actually because this dupe works both ways. It doesn't have to be just stackable items. But with the andesite funnel, what happened to the levers? I think I broke it by accident. With the andesite funnels, it will not work with stackable items like sandstone because the reason for that is the way it works is so the funnels. I'm going to show it before doing this. So the funnels itself, the brass funnel specifically, will drop a whole stack at once, as you can see here. So this is why this won't work with the andesite funnel, but the andesite funnel itself can still drop single stacked items like that. And if we flip it again, we're gonna get a third minecart. And I think I know what might be happening. So what is specifically happening is this toolbox is briefly being pushed into the block that is inside the funnels, and it's connecting itself into the funnel. And what's going on is that because we have two funnels on the side, it's trying to withdraw two at a time, but the toolbox is only registering one item being dropped at once. So, but that being said, though, it's not going to work very well with the this. So, effectively, what this dupe is, you need at least more than one additional item for whatever item you're trying to dupe. So, like, let's say it's a stack of sandstone. It's not going to work on this one because it can only drop one item at once. And so it'll just go through that cycle of one item and you'll end up with less. Oh, actually, I take it back. I'm actually thrown back by what I just said. Okay, so because I did a lot of testing of this and I tried stackable items, but I've only noticed that I've only been getting like one. But see now it's dropped exactly two. So I guess I gotta let me think about this. So I think it can still dupe the item so long as it's just one over. What I want to do is I actually want to try something else. So if I were to just start this, pick this up, and then will it? No, because then it just drops back down to 65 and then just 64. So I think I know what else is also happening. It's ending at the stack, but with something like the brass funnel, it's a lot more effective because you can just you have the stack right there and then you have the four and it still has another four in here. So if I go and pick that up, I'm gonna have a stack in four and then I'm gonna have another four over here. Yeah, there we go. See, because both funnels drop 64 at once and it's exponential as well too. So if I ever do it again, it's gonna have another 8 on that one and an additional 8 here. And as you can see, we're at like 64, 16, and it's just gonna keep increasing like that. Now that's just with Create alone. We're in Create Ultimate Industry, so we have more than just that. So we have like Tinker's Construct and all that stuff as well too. So you can see here. Now there is something I do want to show. So let's say I'm trying to find we're just gonna have to go through. But let's say you only have one of the item that you want to dupe. This one's a bit of a more lengthier process, but it should work regardless because of the way the game is handling multiple stacks, and it would work really well with the andesite funnel as well too. Not saying that brass one is hard to get to because there's actually ways to get brass funnels very early on, but so hold on, there we go. We're gonna need just a couple of things here. Actually, we don't even need that. So what we can do, right, is we have a so it's got to be like two of the same item effectively. You only need one with item frame level 1 on it too. So when you shift right click, you're able to put something in there. And let's say we only have one brass funnel and we want to get multiple of it. So we have put one item with a brass funnel in there, and we're just gonna dupe it with the andesite one, right? So this one's got the funnel in it, right? So if we were to put the one without the funnel first, and then the one with the funnel, and just do that real quick. So I believe this one has the funnel. So yeah, that one's gonna have the funnel. This one's not gonna have the funnel. But so the order of operation is whatever the last item is placed will be the last one to drop. So that being said, this one should also have a funnel. Yep, just like that. So, and then obviously just go there from there. But yeah, so that's something good to note. So with this specifically is you need to have pretty much the same material of the item. So let's say you made a Copper's Traveler's goggles and you want to dupe it. you have to make sure that it's matching. So, because I believe if I were to like grab a different material, it will not stack over itself. So if I were to put that there, it's gonna, oh, and I'm once again corrected. So that's another revelation I've just made here. So yeah, huh. I want to take a look at this. I think I know why that might be the case, and it just has to do with the fact that it's just listed under Traveler's Helmet. So yeah, but obviously it's a bit of a more lengthier process to get this because you do need for the item frame here, right? We're using just a regular gold one because I think it's the easiest one to get, but to make that you are gonna need obviously the golden item frame, right? And so you will need an obsidian pane, but to get that it's not too terrible. You can get that pretty early on just with a water bucket inside of a drain. But for brass funnels, it's actually going to be pretty easy to get. So let me show you what I mean. Because all of this is pretty easy as well too. Like you look at the card assembler, you just need andesite alloy, 2 planks, and a redstone dust. And then for just even the funnel, it's really just alloy and kelp, and you get 2 of them off the bat. So it's not like you're gonna lose out a lot. And obviously, the minecart just well, the minecart, and then a rail as well too. Toolbox might be a little bit lengthier, but to get a gold plate, you could actually just use the engineer's hammer, so that's really nice. Cogwheel's pretty easy to get. Obviously, leather's pretty easy. All of this is really easy to get. For the brass, it's going to be a little bit more trickier. So I'll be back and I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, so I am back and I'm in a survival world. Or in a separate world. So this is actually so this seed specifically, just so I can show you what I'm talking about more specifically and how to get some of these materials very early. This is from the survival world that I just have by myself. So if I were to just fly around over here, there's gonna be somewhere around this side over here. There is gonna be a massive structure uh in this mod pack that generates, right? So there is also a village nearby, so that's pretty neat. I didn't notice this first time around. As a matter of fact, it took like maybe a few hours before I even realized that there was a village here, but that's not the case. That's not going to be what the focus is here. There is somewhere around here, right? If I were to just, I think it'd be no, actually, but deeper around the forest, because I have this whole section explored around here, and then remember crossing through this ocean. Did remember seeing that. There will be create structures that periodically generate around the world, and one of these structures is a very specific one that I'm looking for. I'm trying to kind of retrace my steps around how I got to that structure. Okay, I'm remembering now actually. So if I were to head down south, further down, it's also a quick tip. So this mod pack also comes with journey map. I have zeros installed because it's more of a preference thing for me, but both should be fine because when you pull up a map, you'll actually be able to see a couple of things here. And like for instance, like this village I didn't even notice was on my map for like the longest time. There's also this structure as well too, and that's from Scorch Guns, which I will be talking about in a little bit afterwards. So once I find a structure, that is. But to kind of just keep it brief and simple, there's more than just like more other ways to like abuse this exploit as well too. While this mod pack still has create version 606, because once they update that on this mod pack, it's pretty much just gonna be fixed and it won't work anymore. But it is nice to still be able to have around. Maybe if I do this real quickly. Oof. I increase render distance just a little bit. It's gonna kill my frame rate, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Surprisingly, still running smooth, so I think we're good here. But I think I'll have a better idea. I'll be back. Okay, so I went on my survival world to just pull up the map and see. Ooh. Oh, I don't have cheats enabled. Oh, that's a bit awkward. But just open the land here. Should be good. But so I pulled up my survival world just to find the structure I was referring to. So if I just teleport around there, these are the coordinates, and it just kind of, there we go. All right, everything's taking a while to load because it is pretty far off. Yeah. Hold on. If I were to just do that real quick, apply. All right, we're good. So here there's going to be a lot of create stuff, so like mechanical mixers, presses, train casings, and all that stuff. But over here is a brass funnel, so that is a pretty simple way of getting that. These are the chords right over here: -1061, -110. If you plan on using this seed, because I'd argue this seed's actually pretty fair with you as well too. There's a lot of things relevant to you. Now, I did mention scorched guns, and I mentioned that for a reason. So I'll be back in my testing world just to show you as to why. So we're back here, and I'm going to show why scorched guns is really useful for all this jargon over here. So what we're going to show you is an exosuit skeleton or chest plate, right? And obviously you would need a exosuit blueprint for that. And to make that, you are going to need a gun bench. You're going to need 8 antlerite, which is honestly all over the place. And then you're going to need the blueprint, which you get from the Scamppanzer. And although he is a boss, he is a three-phase boss. He's guaranteed to always drop this blueprint, and he's honestly very easy to cheese. The only problem I have with this boss is that he does spawn additional enemies, and one of those enemies is I think it's a Scampler, I believe. Yes, this enemy. So he will blow up is the problem, and it really does hinder this because he can also blow up the blueprint if he's still around as well too, and he spawns them in mass as well, so it's not like it's easy to deal with. But once you get this blueprint, you're able to make the exosuit chestplate, and the reason why I'm bringing that up is because there is a gun pouch, and holding this out and pressing Z by default will allow you to put this gun pouch in it, and when you wear this chestplate, whatever you have for armor. So like we type in exosuit, we have an exosuit chestplate right here. I have it set to M and it will override just the map. You can just store things in there, and what the problem with the toolbox is that it will not accept things like chokers, backpacks, or anything that is a portable storage. But this is treated as an armor and not a portable storage. So something like, I don't know, if I were to try to shove a backpack in there, it won't let me. So no matter how much I try to do it, it won't let me. But this I can just put in just fine. So obviously, if you only really need one, because then you can just use the item brim duping that I showed with the helmet or traveler's goggles, and then you can just dupe this thing as well too. And then next you know you have two of them with a pouch, and this will allow you to dupe in bulk. So like, let's say for whatever reason want more wood, all I would do is just, that, and then put whatever I want in there, put this exosuit in here, put this other one in here, and then just flip. Oh, okay, so I screwed that one up because I put the empty one in first. So obviously you see it has pouches empty, pouches empty. And despite being a golden ammo pouch, but very clearly it takes anything in. So let's just do that real quick, and then you'll see over here this, flip it again. We'll have three now. You downside is you will have to like manually unequip and re-equip all the ones that you have here just so that you can very clearly see that everything's on right now. So this is nice to know because another thing that the ammo pouch can store is actually backpacks as well too. So your backpack, shulker, any portable storage, and it's really easy to get to, let's say, traveler's pants, right? Or that, and now you might be thinking, well, what's so hard about the traveler's pants? And it's because so we need shulker shells for one thing. This thing, if you look at the modifiers, one of the things this thing can have is pockets. And for you to get pockets, you need shulker shells. And obviously that's very far down the line. There's realistically no way you're gonna get that very early on. If I could even find, there it is. Yeah, pockets right here. And two shulker shells and iron and all that stuff. But it does also have an inventory now. The obvious downside is one, the difficulty at getting it, but two, if I were to just show you right here, it has less space than a pouch and the Exosuit. And the gun pouch itself, like if I were to show you that real quick, this is also a really cheap recipe just to make a gun pouch. Like this is nothing compared to the trouble of getting just pockets. So yeah, that's why I recommend the Exosuit. And at the end of the day, you might just be asking yourself, why not just cheat in the items at this point? So currently, this is specific to 6.06. Any multiplayer server running this, obviously this is exploitable. I condemn it if it's something like, they're trying to make a living out of the server, but the information is right here. It's very simple to do so long as you're on version 606 on Create, and this mod pack is currently still on 606 of Create, so which is weird because there was an update this Halloween where they did update a few mods. They didn't update Create. That patch 607 that fixed this exploit was on the 25th of October, so just about last week as of uploading this. And it's weird that they didn't think to update this, but so long as it's up here, this is an option that you can do. There's like really not much else to show off here. So thank you for watching. I hope this video helps. Not asking for much, so have a good rest of your day, I guess.